What up, everybody? It's your boy Young Fizz, aka Mr. Dope Status on Instagram, and welcome back to another video. So today we are back inside the machine, and I just want to show you guys this hard West Coast beat that I made, maybe for like a Snoop Dogg or like a YG type of rapper. I'm gonna be showing you guys some of the instruments that I used inside of the machine, and just kind of break down the beat for you guys. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the bell notifications so whenever I drop a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the beat, hard West Coast slapper. All right, so the first thing I want to go ahead and start off with is going to be the retro machines, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this on the screen here. So this one is called the 700 sub bass, and let's go ahead and solo that up. We're gonna listen to what that sounds like. So to hear that, you're gonna need some headphones or some type of subwoofer, good speakers. So let's go ahead and go into the next one, which is atomic bass, which is this one here. And this is just a sampler pad, as you can see right here on the screen. If I go to keyboard mode, you'll see the different samples that I'm using there. And let's go ahead and go back, and let's go ahead and listen to what that's doing. So let's listen to those together so far. All right, so the next sound I got here is this Rezo bass here. So I'm gonna go ahead and solo that up. And this again is coming from the retro machine. So let's go ahead and pull that up there for you. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the screen. And there is the retro machines Mark II. And this one is called Mini Rezo bass, Rezo or Rezo bass. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to that, what that's doing again. All right, so the next thing I got here is the funky bass, and that's gonna be this one right here. This is coming from the Roland synthesizer, the SH2, and let's go ahead and listen to what that sounds like solo. All right, so that's what that is doing there. And then down here we have another funky bass here, and I'm using Omnisphere. So let's go ahead and show you guys Omnisphere. And the patch that I'm using is this Sid Solid Bass #1. Let me go ahead and solo that up, and then we're gonna go ahead and press play. Last but not least, I have a sample of a piano here, so let me go ahead and select that sample there. And we're gonna go ahead and solo that up for you there. And this one is just a sample that I'm using, and I can kind of show you guys what I'm using there. So let's go ahead and do pad mode, keyboard mode. And I'll even go to the zone so you guys can see exactly what's going on. It's just the West Coast piano. So let's go ahead and play that in solo by itself so you guys understand what this is doing here. So now when you put all those instruments together, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what you have here. So we're gonna do all on, and then we're gonna go back to the verse. And this is what we have with just the instrumentation. Basically stacked upon top of each other, a piano, and that's pretty much it. And it's like a nice sub bass all in there. And so if we take a closer look at the patches that we have here, you can see the plugins that I'm using. So let's go back to #1. I'm not using any plugins. #2, no plugins. So the Rezo bass, I initially had a EQ in there, and I'll go ahead and unmute that so you guys can hear what's going on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and solo that so you guys listen to it with the EQ in. And this is what it would sound like with the EQ. So I'm just gonna back up just a little bit. It just sounded kind of like thin and tinny, so I decided to take it out. So let me go ahead and bypass that so you can understand what's going on with it unbypassed. Let's go back here. So I just wanted to make it full just in case for the mix I wanted to have it full. So if I wanted to take it out, I could do that as well. So, but right now we're gonna leave that in there. Next thing I have here is the funk bass, and as you can see on the screen, I'm using a few different plugins, starting with this plugin here, which is the NLS by Neve. That's just to kind of fatten up the sound a little bit. I also use a EQ. What else am I using here? A CLA 3A. Show you guys what that looks like there, and that's pretty much it. So just those three plugins there. So they're all by Waves. I'll leave a link down in the description if you decide you want to purchase these ones. You definitely want to check those out. So for this funky bass here, I have the a roll off at 86 Hertz, and that's pretty much it for that. And then last but not least, we have the West Coast piano, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm doing with that there. So let's go back to plugins. So I'm using the compressors, number one, and you can see that on this screen here. I'm also using the JP strings, which is by Waves. So Joseph Jack, and this is string and keys. So just kind of getting the just a better tone out of it. And then I'm also using some reverb, and as you can see that on the screen there. So I'm gonna go back, and then again, so all of it together. We're gonna play it from this right here, and this is what it sounds like. Now is where we get into the drums. So let's go ahead and unmute the drum group and listen to it with the verse here. So a drum programmer is very simple. Let's go ahead and solo them by themselves. Started from right here. Just a standard 808 kit, not really doing too much of anything. Got the kick, got the clap, hi-hat, open hat, nice rim shot, some crashes. When I decide to add those in, just another clap just in case I want to do some rolls here. And to get this feeling, I'm just basically playing the drums lazy. So I'm just. And then notice up here, you have the 25% swing. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put those back together. So when you have the verse and that together, this is what it's sounding like here. And so the build just basically introduces the intro sound. So it just kind of builds up the track. And so let's look at the kick. Some of the plugins that I'm using here. I'm using just the EQ, and I'll go ahead and put it on the screen here for you. So you can kind of see right here with the low frequencies that I'm just kind of boosting just a tad bit. I'm bringing out some of those low mids, high mids. I'm not even really touching those at all. Same thing for that one there. The next plugin I'm using is a Tweak Child, which is famously a Fairchild 670. Again, this is by Joseph Jack. At the time, I was probably just experimenting with their plugins, and I just love the way this thing sounds. It's a nice compressor, just gets your kick nice and tight. And so that's all the plugins on the kick. The next thing, I'll go ahead and go over here. We have this one here, which is the clap. Just the EQ, and I'm using the API. And as you can see right there, my settings. So nice, tight clap sound. And then I'm using a EQ on this sound right here, which is another clap. Just a basic EQ setting. And that's pretty much the track. I mean, when you put them all together, you got the build. It sounds something like this right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this beat. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. We out.